What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to talk about something that doesn't really have too much to do with fitness, but it kind of does. I'm going to touch on this whole, I don't even know, it really has nothing to do with what I normally talk about, but I feel like it's very in the air these days, and it's the whole I don't even really know, this whole should women be virgins, and should they, is it bad to prostitute yourself on social media, and feminism and all of this stuff that a lot of people talk about. There's a lot of very vocal people who have opinions, who are not shy to share those opinions, and now I'm going to share my opinion about that. Cool? So here we go. Boom. Now, before we get into that, if you guys like videos like this, where I speak my mind about various topics about health, fitness, fasting, feminism, I guess, and other weird things, click subscribe. I try to make videos as often as I can. Lately, it's been every day, and I get to show you very unique and fabulous locations, like this lovely storm drain here in Nha Trang, Vietnam, which surprisingly is one of the only locations where I can film a video where I won't have massive distractions with people walking by, and the lighting is decent, and the sound is okay too. Cool. Also, go support me on Patreon. Did I say that already? Anyway, go support me on Patreon, link in the description. Give me some money every month so I can start making videos full time and support myself and give myself a nice little monthly income to travel the world and show you, again, very exotic locations like this, and maybe even some more exotic locations with a tripod and a microphone and some lighting and a cameraman and other cool stuff that I've got on that page as well. You can read about that and then take out your credit card, give me some money. And go check out my digital marketing channel, link in the description. Just click on any of those videos down there and you will automatically be subscribed. Cool? Great. So, okay, here we go. Now, all right, here's the deal. Okay, so this whole feminism, are women whores today, and should we go back to the way things were, where there was no social media, and is social media bad for you? And it's just this giant mess, right? So for those of you who somehow don't know what I'm talking about, the whole idea kind of started from this red pill truth stuff, right? Which is this community of people who talk about sexual strategy between men and women, saying that women have this one sexual strategy where they'll lock down a provider to get married or have their boyfriend or whatever, who provides resources and company. And this is very deterministic, very cold analysis, but I'm paraphrasing here. Okay, so they'll get one guy as a provider who's really nice to them and is comforts them and keeps them company and gives them money or resources or whatever. And then when they're ovulating, they'll go find a guy who's a genetically gifted specimen, maybe yours truly. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. To go mate with, right, and get his genetic material, have babies, and raise those babies with the guy who's more of a provider type. Okay, now this is obviously simplifying, paraphrasing, but the whole idea is that once this has become part of the public consciousness, regardless of whether or not it's true and you believe it or you agree with it, but at the end of the day, if a lot of people believe something, then it's pretty much true, right? We can get into that in a whole another topic, but if the majority of people believe it, let's just say that it's true, right? Let's just go with that. Now, the issue is that if that's the case, if that really is their strategy, and now the world is as such that feminism is what it is, women have equal rights, and they're allowed to vote, and they have free speech, and they can have jobs, and now we have social media where women can still kind of benefit from the very female benefit, let's just call it, of being able to show some skin and get a lot of attention from men. And they have all these other benefits as well that were traditionally male, having jobs and money and power and all that stuff. The idea is that it's kind of shifted the balance too much in favor of women, so that now women essentially have unlimited access to men that they want because they're able to attract them on a global scale because of social media, right? Back in the day, you'd live in your like little village, and okay, maybe you were like the hot girl of the village, but like you're pretty much only gonna end up with like that one hot guy from the village, or the, you know, son of a merchant or king or whatever, right? But now, like, you're a hot girl, you've got an Instagram account or TikTok or Facebook even, and like, you know, you post a couple booty shots, and you have access pretty much to like guys all over the world. Like, you know, some rich dude in Dubai can like fly you out, take you on his yacht, and like you essentially have a lot more options as a woman now than you did back then, right? So like what a lot of people say now, and they paraphrase a lot, and they say like, oh, women are whores, they get cocks thrown at them from all these different guys, and like it reduces their ability to pair bond, right? To bond with one guy, and raise a family and get married and have kids and all that stuff, because they've got all these other options, right? And like, why is that bad? They say because, like, you know, it causes all these societal problems. You have a lot of single moms out there now, who don't get married and have kids and have a traditional family, because they are kind of inundated with all of this attention from men, either all over the world, or all over the country, or all over their city, or, you know, with Tinder and all this stuff, right? So that's pretty much it. And you get a lot of people who will complain about this kind of thing very vocally, and they'll say like, essentially like, the world is fucked up now because of this, and it's bad for women, and they shouldn't do it, and they should feel bad, and like it all, you know, it's just bad. Okay, so I'm gonna give my take on this, and it's, you know, different, I would say, than probably what most people are saying who have those beliefs, and I'm going to tell you why right now. Okay, now first of all, I don't disagree with the whole like red pill stuff, right? Like I believe all that about sexual strategy, and like I'm not denying that. I'm not saying that like, no, it's not true, and like the Hollywood dream of like romance is still alive and it's still possible. And maybe it is, I don't know, but like I really do believe that like that's a thing, you know, that like the whole provider and whatever the other one is called, like, I don't know, provider and romance partner or something, I guess. I don't know. I believe that that's a thing. I'm not denying that. But what I do disagree with most people, I don't think that this is inherently a bad thing, right? Like, if you want to like really simplify it, we can say that like, I personally don't want to live in a world where there are not girls with exaggeratedly beautiful bodies who are not posting them on Instagram for me to look at, right? Like, I don't want to live in a world like that where those things don't exist. I personally like the world the way it is, and I think instead of, I don't want to say complaining, but like, let's just call it complaining, right? Instead of like voicing these opinions with the conclusion that it's not good and it's not right and it shouldn't be like this and technology is bad, and like, instead of voicing that, I think you know, let's just say the proper attitude would be to examine the way that things are now and find a way to use that to your advantage, right? And this is generally like, you guys have heard me in my videos where I talk about how I don't care about science, I just want to do what works, right? And this, I guess, is kind of like an overarching theme in my life, where I don't necessarily like go out of my way to like change the status quo, or say like, oh, that's not fair that it's like this, I don't like it, I'm gonna try and change it, or not participate at all, although I do have some areas in my life where I do that. I prefer to like look at things the way they are and figure out the best solution, assuming things stay the way they are, because I generally assume that if they're like that, then they're like that for a reason, right? And it's a reason that's beyond my control or any one single person's control. I'm not saying people can't change the world, and like very outspoken individuals don't have an influence, have an effect on society. However, something like this, that's as like basic as, you know, the human, which is a very human need for attention, right? Like, we all want attention from other people. Even people who like lock themselves in their room and they only work on their own little like personal projects, like, they still want attention from other people because they want recognition for the projects that they create, right? Even if it's just like submitting them to another group of people who are like total shut-ins, and getting recognition for what that is and what they contribute. Now, bringing it back, when we talk about like all of these like girls who are essentially like showing their stuff on social media, or really in the real world, or on Tinder or whatever, I don't think that's bad. I think that's good. I think the proper attitude to have is to try and develop yourself into the type of man, right? And this is really a video for men. Develop yourself into the type of man who deserves a girl like that, right? And like, you know, I'm not saying like, if you're like some bum or whatever, you don't deserve a hot Instagram model or like some fitness model or something like that. But, you know, I really think that like you attract what you deserve in life, whether that's in terms of like financial compensation or the people in your life or how the people in your life treat you. Like you pretty much get what you deserve, right? And if you don't have those girls in your life, then it's probably because you don't deserve them. Like, sorry, not sorry, but like, I don't have those girls in my life. I wish I did. And I would love to get them, right? I'd love, absolutely love to be the type of guy who had like all of these like hot booty models just like coming over to my house to chill and like come to my parties and like invite me to go do stuff with them. Like I would love that. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like I'm not afraid to admit that like I want that attention and I want that I want those people in my life. Of course I do, right? Even though I can fully like recognize the whole fact that like, okay, fine, sexual strategy and all that stuff, and like, yeah, sure, maybe it's less likely now for any of those girls to like get married anytime soon, in their earlier mid-20s probably. But that's not something essentially that like any one person is going to be able to control or change. I don't think. Instagram's not going away anytime soon, right? Social media's not going away anytime soon. Tinder's not going away anytime soon. Shit, my duct tape is falling apart. Go support me on Patreon so I can afford a fucking tripod. Yeah, so like, anyway, that stuff's not going away anytime soon. So I think instead of like, I don't want to say complaining, I just can't think of another word for it. Instead of like railing against like what the world actually is today, because like, say what you know, like I'm not trying to white knight over here or anything like that, but like slut shaming doesn't work. Like it works in Saudi Arabia, but it works in Saudi Arabia because they'll cut your fucking head off if you do that shit. You know, it works in fucking Pakistan because they'll just rape you on this, you know, they'll gang rape you and like there's nothing you can do about it, right? In America, in the West, is that gonna happen? Highly doubtful, right? Extremely highly doubtful. You can call girls sluts, you can call girls whores, you can say whatever, blah, 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 but like at the end of the day, nobody's gonna like kidnap her and like do illegal, you know, they're not gonna end her life or like whatever, I don't even wanna go there. It's not gonna happen, right? So like barring that extreme consequence, and there's so many like thirsty guys, right, who will give her the validation that she's looking for, that she's not likely to stop anytime soon. And furthermore, like let's be real, like sex sells. Like we don't wanna see like, you know, there's a lot of, like the reason why this is even such a thing is because a lot of these girls are getting paid good money to promote certain products to men and also to women. But if that didn't exist, nobody, like it's not, I'm saying nobody would do it, but it would be less prevalent than it is today. But you have a lot of corporations, a lot of companies, a lot of individuals who want to hire attractive, fit, sexy, good-looking people, mostly girls, to promote their products and their services, because that's what will attract attention, that's what will get eyes on whatever the product or service is. So anyway, bottom line is that it's not likely to go away anytime soon, and you can like try and shame people, and you can try and say like, oh, girls are whores and women are whores, and like, yeah, for sure, look, like I would love to be in like a fantasy world where I could marry like my perfect little virgin girl, and we'd have a family together, and like we'd have all our little kids, you'd be super loyal, and like we'd all live happily ever after, and she'd like be, you know, fulfill all my dreams, right? But like, let's be real, like that's not gonna happen, you know? I don't care, like, all right, maybe if you're like religious, I'm talking like hardcore religious Jew or Muslim or Christian or whatever, yeah, maybe find a girl like that. But that girl is not gonna look like your Instagram booty model, you know? That girl is gonna be some like, no offense to any people who are watching this who fit this description, the girl's gonna be weird. She's gonna be weird, bro. She's gonna be super weird. You know, anybody who's ever like engaged with a virgin who is like over a certain age, they're just weird. I'm sorry. Like, sorry, not like virgin shaming, if that's like a thing now, but like, they're just weird people, bro. They're just weird, okay? So anyway, bottom line, you know, like obviously everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not like picking on any one person in particular. I'm just I'm just saying that, like, yeah, okay, like, we get it, you know, like, it's fine to be angry about, like, the way the world is. You were lied to by Hollywood. You were lied to by all these people who said you could have this, like, perfect fairy tale wedding, and there's one girl out there for you, and there's one soulmate out for you, and then when you get into the real world, you realize that it's really not like that. Most girls probably don't want anything to do with you because you're fat, you're a bum, you're a loser, you're broke, you're not cool or charismatic. Like, you're not gonna get your Hollywood ending and your perfect girl who doesn't know she's hot, and, like, secretly you somehow get her to like you and marry you, and you defeat the big bad guy, and that's it. Your life is happily ever after. Okay, it's not gonna happen. So, like, you can either cry about it like a little bitch, or, and again, I'm not picking on anybody in particular. This is, like, to the greater sentiment that I'm talking about, right? You know, so, like, you can either adapt and adjust and try and become the type of person who deserves those people, because that's the world we live in, or you can keep attacking like everything and not provide any solutions, and you know, like, I don't know, do what you want. Like, really, like, we're all here on this planet, we get to live one time. Do what you think is best, but I personally think that, like, just deal, you know, play the hand you've got, right? Cool. So if you guys liked my little whatever, I don't even know what I was talking about, something feminism in this video, I don't know. If you like that video, click subscribe, go support me on Patreon so I can make more videos all the time and show you every beautiful storm drain. It's very artistic. In Southeast Asia, and maybe, like, what I really want to do, I want to go start filming videos in the YouTube space in LA or New York. I need 10,000 subscribers to get there. All of the money that I make on my Patreon page, I haven't checked it, probably don't have any money on there yet, but all the money that I make from that, I'm going to reinvest into the channel, whether it's in the form of equipment or promoting videos. You know, there's some paid services where you can pay to promote your videos through certain, like, blog networks and stuff like that. So I will be using the money for that, and have some nice perks on there. Also, go check out my digital marketing channel. Links in the description. Click on one of those, you'll be automatically subscribed, and that's it. Peace.